It's the 24th of the 8th from the southwest of Ireland, and my update for today with regard to the continuous assault of my human rights and my constitutional rights in this democracy that I've shared about ad nauseum, which is my human right and my obligation to my missing child and my husband that is also a missing person. There's an initiative of hate crime and wrongdoings occurring due to individuals that are procuring from my properties. These individuals have displayed vast efforts in their attempts and their acquisitions from me. That my child is still a missing person, and that the TUSLA Child and Family Agency have been participating in these offences against me is quite serious. That there are individuals in this community that are still trespassing onto my home and my farms in Ardfert and Kilflynn is still an issue that is being ignored. And unfortunately, like any problem that is untreated, when so is the case, it only gets worse. So in the past 24 hours, I have been treating, as I've shared, the medical negligence that has been conducted against me as well. My medical care hasn't been provided for. And in the meantime, those assisting this initiative of violation and wrongdoing, hate crime, basically, those practitioners that have been assisting and disrespecting the Hippocratic Oath have worked on a premise that is unreal, infactual and inaccurate, and not based in any way, not in any sense, not at all is it based in any way on any experiential, factual transactions. And it has culminated as slander of character. So I'm contending with quite a lot in County Kerry in the southwest of Ireland. But this is the arduous effort that these culprits of crime against the state and the constitution that I uphold and respect, and that I have maintained a very clean track record with. This is the extent of offence that they have caused to this democracy, and it has been a worldwide initiative to obstruct and to prevent and to disrespect the family unit that I have and that I hold. They have disrespected the church of my marriage. They have disrespected my ancestral records. They have disrespected their obligations to my child and I. And there have been so many illegalities and so many obstructions, it's not even worth talking about. But as I'm documenting in my documentary Sad Sign of the Times, this is the substance of what I need to share. And I'm aware that the Fellowship of Sanity and Sobriety, Narcotics Anonymous, are aware of my experiences of these liabilities since 2006. Due to the breach of confidentiality, privacy and anonymity, I had to forego my anonymity and I had to share for the betterment of recovery and for the betterment of recovering addicts. So there's still a level of insanity being displayed with the constant cycle of wrongdoings occurring against my good name, character and reputation. And these individuals have disrespected the field of education as well. So they haven't upheld any of their duties, functions or responsibilities, and they haven't honoured the constitutional rights, the property rights, the family rights, the rights of the mother. They haven't respected any of this matter cordially, amicably, professionally, respectfully, and it's absolutely embarrassing that I'm in this predicament. It's a disrespect to the family unit. It's a disrespect to education. and it's disrespect to my ancestral marital properties that persistent offenders against the state are insisting on acquiring from. Procurement, without my consultation, without my permission. And the illegalities haven't just surrounded the unlawful care orders of my child since 2017. The illegalities have also pertained to my marriage. Now, my marriage is, as I've reiterated, fully intact. In 2017, there were legal obstructions conducted, and since then I have been, as a married property owner and mother, deprived and depraved by individuals that have no dignity, shame or responsible behaviour displayed to the youth of today. And that I find a huge concern in an age when you would hope regression to the land of begrudgery concept would be a thing of the past. But unfortunately, there are still people that are the, how would you describe greed? It's just dirty greed, and the seven sins have been, in play against my good name, character, and reputation. And I'm awfully concerned that this vendetta that's being assisted and that is being exacerbated. I'm very concerned about those that have participated and jeopardized their own personal respect for, their own positions, professions and personal lives. As I've mentioned, I have a spiritual status, I have a recovery advocacy status, I have a humanitarian status, and I have a clean track record. And I'm a good person, and when bad things happen to good people, bad things happen. It's cause and effect. And there have been bad things happening due to these people that took my child unlawfully from me in 2017. So there's problems, disturbances of the peace, noise pollution, the whole lot. This community has been just disrupted tremendously by those that have just, they've just preoccupied themselves, I suppose, with the land grab and the disrespect to the family unit and the faith. So there's a blind eye being cast on this very dangerous matter. The United Nations has heard from me. The Government of Ireland has heard from me. And there are still practitioners, professionals, still causing problems. And the respectful route of reparations that I'm owed it doesn't seem to be within their capabilities or their competent transactions in any, shape or form at all whatsoever. So some people seem to think this is a free walk in the park, a free lunch, a free ride kind of a situation. And unfortunately, my farm holdings are very old, very, very precious to my McElligott family, both my paternal McElligott family and my marital McElligott family. And we have only one heir. He's a missing person, and Tusla Child and Family Agency have been highly irresponsible, assisting illegal care orders. And the Ombudsman for Children have been obstructed from me. The Department of Health, that is aware of the developments of NPHET, have been made aware of the doctors that have disrespected their obligations to the Hippocratic Oath, and the developers or trespassers that have been on my farms and in my home in Tuppert Hill. These are all crimes that are punishable, be it by natural law or, how it is. The Government of Ireland has been made aware that the United Nations has been made aware, and there's a problem still going on in County Kerry where the addiction issue is most pertinent to the problems that I'm tolerating as a recovery advocate and as an educator, and most importantly as a married mother. So the practitioners of law that have participated in any transaction that offends my holy matrimony of the 30th of the 3rd, 2015, are disrespecting the church. and in a democracy that's quite dangerous. So this initiative of hate crime and missing persons, a beautiful child, 6 years of age, every child is precious and every mother has the right to care for their child, and any practitioner that slanders a mother's competency and abilities to assist land acquisition or property theft or property fraud is risking the roles and rights of the mother and the child in a democracy. So this initiative is very unworthy. It's very unsafe. There's been a lot of illegality, as I've mentioned. The law has not been respected, and the law not just pertains to democratic constitutional law, it also pertains to humanitarian law. And these problems have been exacerbated since January 2017 by individuals that have no welcoming in Ardfert, Kilflynn, McElligott farm holdings, where they have brazenly disrespected property rights of the family. So the United Nations, I hope, will concern itself with what I am contending with. This is a very dangerous issue. They have not just, as I've mentioned, disrespected humanitarian, internationals, constitutional, etc., those laws, but the laws of faith, spirituality and religion. There's been a lot of blasphemy, and the issue that they defend themselves with as treason has been failed since 2017, 2018, and their foundations and their grounds for treason have been unsuccessful. So there are adults that have harmed my child, causing harm to a mother, and for any adults in a democracy to be casting a blind eye on such a dangerous issue, which has caused casualties and issues for other families, unfortunately. I hope the United Nations will sincerely make an effort to address the problems I'm experiencing by adults that are of property theft and property fraud and harms to my child and I. There's an issue of reparations and amends since 2006, and it's very rude. It's very rude to the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous that these people would think of disrespecting the law or surmounting the amends with more problems, the amends that are overdue since 2006. It's quite serious what's going on. So for those in the field of education, I hope that this, it's pertinent for young people to see good adults with good behaviours. I'd hate for children to be put at risk because or due to bad adults and bad behaviours. It's quite dangerous what my little boy has tolerated and endured and survived. He beggars belief. But those that are disrespecting our land and disrespecting our family and faith, I really hope the United Nations would address this promptly due to the societal obstructions I'm tolerating and due to the slander of character as a recovery advocate of sanity and sobriety in the fellowship since 2006, whose anonymity was breached due to assailants of this awful initiative, a very unworthy initiative. It's not just that hate crime issue, it's the identity issue. These people have used my name and they have used my information, and they have altered my information, which is quite dangerous as well. And they have slandered a good character. I have a very clean track record, a very clean conscience, and I have contributed positively to the Irish society that we live in and that we're enjoying the new legislation of since 2019. So it's very incredulous that individuals that are unqualified and indignant and undignified would think that they have a safe society created with unsafe behaviours for the future children of this country. So it would be really brave and courageous if good adults could respect the circumstances that I'm tolerating and treat the situation as it should respectfully be treated, with professionalism, with courtesy and common sense. Slander of character is very dangerous, and legal care orders of the Tusla Child and Family Agency and unlawful detainment of my little boy, of me from my little boy, that's not safe. Unlawful detainments and violations to freedom for people to walk on my properties is not safe. Disrespecting my matrimony or anybody assisting bigamy, that's not safe with the church either. So this is a democracy, and I would hope that there would be dignified adults. And I know there are, I'm sure, of course I know that there are fabulous dignified adults out there, but unfortunately Tralee County Kerry is tolerating despicable behaviour. It's repulsive, it's disrespectful, and it's just embarrassing. So the kingdom is being brought into disrepute by these people that have no welcoming on the land where they're trespassing, and they've brought the standards down. And I take no pleasure in having to share this, but this is the fact of the matter. And my work as a recovery advocate for sanity and sobriety, that has brought about change in this community, by those that have been imposing upon me, etc., and that have been of character assassination as well, I suppose, but of offences against my child and I. These adults are a threat to the future generation, and they have been blasphemous, and they have been violence that's inexcusable. So I would hope the United Nations would contact me. I am at 18 Rock Street, and I'm experiencing very dangerous human rights abuses, and it's quite dangerous that my child and my husband are missing people, and that my home is in Turbot Hill, and that I am where I am, and that there are individuals living off my wealth. So I would hope people might sit up and demonstrate courage and bravery. Legislation has been huge since 2018, and the positive benefits from my purpose, my work, have been quite huge, even though they've been refuted and denied and lied about by the culprits. It's all creative intellectual theft as well. So that's the update from the southwest of Ireland, from the county of Kerry. And if anyone sees the blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby boy who's 6 years of age, his mum is in 18 Rock Street. So I hope the guards would respect my child and I, and locate my son and bring him back to my care where he's legally meant to be. And any individuals that have disrespected my matrimony or my marital rights, I'm very concerned for those involved. Sad sign of the times.